Did you just say your father can buy this courtroom? I said what I said. You can't touch me. Son, arrogance has consequences, not for people like me.
The entire courtroom freezes. A young man in an expensive designer jacket slams his hands on the defendant's table and spits out the words that spark chaos across the room. My dad can buy you, old man. This whole court, you're all beneath us. Gasps explode from every corner. A mother covers her child's ears. An officer instinctively steps forward. Even the court clerk drops her pen. Judge Frank Caprio doesn't blink. He slowly removes his glasses, folds them with controlled disappointment, and studies the boy with a silence so heavy the room feels like it has stopped breathing. The young man smirks, confident, untouchable, intoxicated by privilege. But 30 minutes from now, that smirk will be gone. His voice will crack. And the same courtroom he mocked will watch him being led away in handcuffs. This is the moment the internet can't stop talking about. The day arrogance walked into Judge Caprio's courtroom. And justice walked out with a lesson the world will never forget. The morning began quietly. The old, historic Providence Municipal Court had its usual hum, whispers, footsteps, papers rustling. Soft rays of winter sunlight trickled through high windows, landing in warm patches across the wooden benches. The air carried that mix of polish, dust, and history familiar to anyone who has spent time in an old courthouse. Judge Caprio entered like he always did, not dramatically, not loudly, but with a calm presence that seemed to settle the entire room. His black robe swayed with each step, and his wise, warm eyes scanned the courtroom with the same gentle curiosity he'd carried for decades. The gallery was full today. An elderly couple held hands in the back row. A young mother bounced her baby on her lap. Two teenagers whispered nervously, traffic tickets, probably. Officers stood by the walls, still as pillars. But then, the doors pushed open. A young man walked in with a swagger that didn't match the tension of the room. His jacket was designer. His shoes spotless. His hair styled like he was heading to a premiere, not a courtroom. He chewed gum loudly, sunglasses still on inside. Behind him trailed two friends, recording on their phones, snickering, nudging each other. The mood shifted. You felt it in the air. The quiet dignity of the court seemed to clash with the noisy entitlement that just entered. The defendant took his seat, legs sprawled out, chin raised, looking around as if he owned the place. At that moment, everyone sensed it. Something was about to happen. Something big. Judge Caprio called the case. Christopher Hale. The young man didn't move at first. His friend nudged him. Christopher stood, still chewing his gum, and spoke with a tone dripping in mock respect. Yeah, I'm here. Let's get this over with, Judge. Caprio lifted an eyebrow. Mr. Hale, you're charged with reckless driving, destruction of city property, and failure to comply with police instructions. Do you understand the charges? Christopher chuckled. Understand? Judge, listen. You don't get it. My dad knows people. Big people. This whole thing is a joke. He pointed to the officers. I only drove fast because they were chasing me. Whose fault is that? Not mine. The gallery murmured. He smirked even wider. You're wasting your time, Judge. My dad can buy this courtroom, the street outside, and your entire salary 10 times over. An officer stepped forward. Judge Caprio raised a hand, calming him. Christopher kept going. You know who my father is? CEO of Hale International. One call from him and, poof, this whole building becomes a parking lot. So let's just wrap this up so you can go back to, whatever it is you do. The disrespect hung in the air like smoke. The silence afterward felt explosive, thicker, hotter, angrier than any shouted argument. Judge Caprio didn't react with anger. He simply stared at the boy. And that was somehow more frightening than anything else. Before Judge Caprio could respond, another name appeared on the docket. A frail, elderly man in worn boots and a patched jacket rose from the second row. He held a small envelope, his hands shaking slightly. His name was Walter Briggs, a 76-year-old Vietnam veteran. He was here because Christopher, during his reckless driving chase, crashed through a pedestrian crossing post, which fell onto Walter's old pickup truck, damaging the hood. Walter wasn't seeking revenge. He simply needed help. That truck was his only way to get to his medical appointments. When he spoke, his voice trembled with age, not anger. Your Honor. I don't want trouble. That boy's car destroyed the front of my truck. I can't afford the repair. I'm on fixed income. Christopher rolled his eyes loudly. Oh please, Grandpa. I'll buy you a new truck if you stop whining. Walter smiled politely, painfully. I don't need a new truck. Just mine fixed. Christopher leaned back. Whatever, man. You should be grateful I even responded. The gallery's mood turned from shock to disgust. Judge Caprio watched both men. The young man drowning in privilege. And the old man standing in quiet dignity. The contrast between them painted the room in emotional colors that no camera could ever fully capture. Judge Caprio leaned forward. His voice was soft. Calm. Unshakably steady. Mr. Hale, I have presided over this courtroom for many years. I have seen anger, fear, heartbreak, regret, but rarely have I seen a display of arrogance as thoughtless as the one you've brought here today. Christopher scoffed, but quieter now. Caprio continued. You seem to believe that money can buy anything, respect, dignity, accountability. Let me assure you, it cannot. The courtroom was silent. There is a man behind you, Caprio said, nodding toward Walter, who served this country before your parents even met. He has lived a life of sacrifice so that you could live yours in comfort. And instead of gratitude, you offer him mockery. Christopher looked away. Caprio's words grew heavier. Young man, arrogance is a disease. It blinds you. It makes you believe you are above consequences. But you are not above the law. Not here. Not anywhere. The room seemed to exhale all at once. But the storm was only beginning. Judge Caprio turned to the court officers. Bring in the next piece of evidence. A projector screen lit up. Christopher looked confused. What is this? More nonsense. A video played. Dashcam footage. But it wasn't from the police. It was from a car parked down the street. And then the twist hit the entire courtroom like a thunderbolt. The person who recorded the footage was Christopher's father. He entered quietly from the back of the courtroom, no security entourage, no arrogance. Just a man looking heartbroken, defeated, and fearful. Everyone turned. Christopher froze. Dad? His father stepped forward and spoke to the judge. Your Honor, my son didn't know I was behind him that night. I followed him because I was worried about the company he was keeping. And what I saw frightened me. He pulled out his phone. There's more. He handed it to the clerk. The second video played. This time, audio. Christopher laughing wildly as he sped through a neighborhood. Boasting about owning the road. Laughing as he nearly hit a pedestrian. Mocking the police. Mocking ordinary citizens. Mocking everyone. Christopher's face drained of color. His father's voice cracked. Your Honor. I recorded this because I knew one day he'd deny everything. And I couldn't keep protecting him. Not anymore. Gasps filled the room again, this time for a very different reason. This wasn't just a courtroom case anymore. It had turned into a father trying desperately to save his son from himself. Something inside Christopher snapped. The bravado melted. His shoulders sank. His gums stopped moving. His eyes filled with panic, then shame, then something deeper, something raw. "Dad, why would you show that?" he whispered. His father wiped his eyes. "Because I'm losing you, son." Christopher's lips trembled. I didn't mean all that stuff. I was just joking. Showing off. I didn't know it was that bad." His voice cracked. He turned toward Walter. I'm sorry. I swear I didn't mean to hurt your truck, or scare you. I wasn't thinking at all." Tears slipped down his face. The courtroom watched a transformation, not magical, not instant, but real. The armor of arrogance cracked, revealing a frightened young man who had been collapsing inside long before this day. Judge Caprio took a long breath. His verdict came down not like a hammer, but like a lesson carved in stone. Legal consequence. Mr. Hale, for reckless driving, property damage, and fleeing officers, you will serve 30 days in juvenile detention, followed by 90 days of probation. You will also pay full restitution for all damages. Christopher nodded silently, accepting. Emotional/moral consequence. Additionally, Caprio continued, you will write a personal letter of apology to Mr. Briggs and deliver it to him in person. Not a typed statement. A handwritten apology from your heart. Christopher swallowed hard. Yes, Your Honor. Community-based consequence. And finally, you will complete 200 hours of community service assisting at the Providence Veteran Support Center. You will work hands-on with men and women who served this country. You will listen to their stories. You will understand responsibility. Christopher wiped his face. I will. I promise. Judge Caprio leaned back. This court is not here to punish your wealth, Mr. Hale. It is here to reshape your character. He paused. Officer, take him into custody. Handcuffs clicked. Christopher didn't resist. For the first time that day. He looked humble. Human. Growing. 6 months passed. The camera returns to Providence on a warm summer morning. Christopher walks toward the courthouse, not in designer clothes, not with swagger, but in a simple shirt and jeans. His posture is different now, straight, calm, respectful. His father is beside him. Walter Briggs sits on a bench outside, polishing his newly repaired truck hood. Christopher approaches with a small paper bag. Hi, Mr. Briggs, he says with a genuine smile. I brought you your favorite muffins. Blueberry. Walter laughs. You remembered. Christopher nods. Everything you told me, all those stories at the Veterans Center, they changed me. Walter pats his shoulder. You changed yourself, son. We see Christopher volunteering, cleaning meals trays, setting up chairs, listening to war veterans speak about fear, courage, sacrifice, discipline. We see him helping elderly vets walk down steps. Laughing with them. Learning from them. Growing. He no longer moves like someone trying to prove something. He moves like someone who has discovered who he is. His father, watching from afar, wipes a tear. And for the first time in a long time, Christopher looks proud of himself. A narrator's voice closes the story. Respect isn't measured by wealth, titles, or the power you inherit. It's measured by the choices you make, especially when you think no one is watching. Arrogance destroys. Humility restores. And sometimes, a single moment of truth can change a life forever. The camera fades out on Walter and Christopher sitting on the bench, sharing muffins, two people from different worlds connected by a lesson that echoed far beyond the courtroom.